there yarn lovers, it's Gary and I'm coming to you from Vancouver, Canada. So welcome. Today's Sunday, June the 7th, 2020, and this is video number 58. It's been a week, another week has transpired. Wow, where does the time go? So I thought I'd just jump in here quickly to talk about some things. It's a little bit of a mix match of stuff that I've got to get through today. So I might seem a little all over the place, but yeah, bear with me and we'll get through it. So this week, what I'm going to talk about is KnitCrate. I received my May KnitCrate, which is the Bear Yarn KnitCrate, and I have some thoughts about KnitCrate, so I want to share them with you. I've got a finished object. I've got a couple new ones that I started that I'm really excited about, because one is tied in with a make along or a knit along that I'm joining, and I have yarn swap. My main KnitCrate was a beautiful luxurious yarn which had glitter running through it. I don't know what that's called, that metallic kind of like shiny stuff. It was in a beautiful purple colorway, and I didn't see any use that I could use it in, so I opened it up for people to swap with me, and I made a swap. So I've got like a box of goodies to show, and I'm really excited about it. So yeah, I have to address a little bit about how my week has been going for me. I've been sort of up and down with my energies, and I wanted to kind of like reflect a little bit on that, because since the COVID virus has happened and a little bit of self-quarantine, I've had lots of chances to, like, you know, include a lot of news, you know, feeds and stuff like that about what's going around in the world right now. And yeah, so I think I need to mention something about that towards the end of this video, but I'll first get stuck into the crafty stuff, and then maybe finish it off with a little bit of hope and inspiration, and I want to share some of the finds that I found to kind of like switch the energy levels back to I don't know, moving in a direction where it's empowering people through whether there's any rage that people are feeling, or a little bit of depletion. These things might help. So starting with the crafty stuff, I did finish one object which I'm very happy with, is the hat that I worked on, and I showcased a little bit of it started here in the brim work, and it's the Oh Brother hat by Fran Carle. It's a paid for pattern, and I will include the link to where you can find it. So it looks like that in the PDF. I absolutely enjoyed this make. This was such a beautiful make, and I had chosen yarn that was gifted to me by Judy, and Judy is from the Witch Piece Craft YouTube channel, so I'll link her down below as well. So thank you, Judy. It worked up like a dream. And in Fran's pattern, she suggests that you can either start with a provisional cast or a long tail cast on, and I opted to do the provisional because I had never done one before, so it was my very first time, and it was a moment of hold your breath as I pulled the single crochet cord away from the stitch work and recaptured each of the stitches with my needles to complete this pattern. So yeah, if you want some excitement in your life, you can always try a provisional cast on, and enjoy that thrill as well. So lovely yarn there. It's from an Australian company called Heirloom, and so if I believe they have a website, and I will include that website as well down below, where you can purchase this yarn if you choose. They may have some shipping details if it's international as well. Really lovely and squishy. And oh, a really nice feature which I think Fran told me quite openly when I met with her at a convention, like a Fibre convention, is that one of her lovely features in this hat is that she hides her floats inside of a layer of stockinette. So for one thing, it doesn't catch on anything, so all the floats will be protected within that encasing, and it also provides an extra bit of squish and warmth for your ears. So really like that feature. The other things that I got to showcase start again. The other things that I've got to showcase right now are all works that I've just started, and I'm really excited about some of them. Actually, all of them. But let's start with this one here. I tried using the hopscotch to do the Marley bird pattern, as I pointed out in my last podcast, or 2 podcasts ago, and the color wasn't working up the way that I was wanting it to. And in her tutorial, the choice of yarn that was selected was from a different Red Heart selection, and I believe it was their Cityscape yarn, and I believe that it was in particular the Sydney colorway with maybe Bangkok yarn choices, and that was a better selection of colors that were working up for that particular pattern. So I didn't know what to do with this, and I always thought that this particular shawl here, called the Simple Crescent Shawl, was a lovely way of showcasing the color work. So I pulled the band off and I opened it up, and lo and behold, inside the band, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. They have the pattern inside the band. It's a free pattern that you can find on Yarnspirations, and I'll link that down below as well for your ease of access. And what I have is half of it done. It calls for 2 balls of, well, in particular, in that example, is the kickbox colorway, kickball colorway, not kickbox, kickball. And I have done half of it in the same colorway. And I'm using a 29-inch set of knitting needles. So it is all scrunched up like this, and I'm probably going to have to move this onto either a larger length of knitting needles, because it is going to increase, I think, another 50 stitches, or I'll have to share it with another length of similar knitting needle size, so a 5.5 millimeter knitting needle to extend. I can then add them all onto the same set of knitting needles, or share them across 2. And a little bit about this make, I really like it. I love the way the colors are coming out. It is just garter stitch, but it has a fancy little number here on the edging with eyelets, and I don't know whether you can see that. Maybe I'll just bring it closer. There we go. That's a good representation of it. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Now, a little bit that I found out about this yarn after using it is that I don't know what it is. It's 100% acrylic, but they've added something in the treatment of the yarn. It's super soft, but it has a little film of something on it, whether it's a particle of the wash that's still on the fabric, or the strand of yarn. But as I'm working with it, it's coming off on my bamboo needles, and it's making my bamboo needles quite sticky. I'm putting up with it. I don't mind. I kind of like have to push a little firmer with my hands to kind of like get the stitches to move across. But what I like about the stickiness is that I can be quite, I would say, confident that if I toss this in my project bag, and if I'm jostling it around or picking up the project bag or moving things around, that these stitches are going to stay on the bamboo needle because it is a little tacky. So just to let you know, if you're wanting to use this particular yarn and you're thinking that you don't like the fact that you have to put effort in moving stitches across bamboo, you might want to choose a metal finished set of knitting needles for this particular yarn. But yeah, I mean, like, these needles are primed. They already had a coating on them. I've used them for other jobs and projects, and they've been great. It's just this yarn has something in it that makes it feel like there's some sort of lanolin or maybe some sort of detergent that was used to wash the yarn. So yeah, just a little tidbit there. The other thing that I started was a hybrid, and this hybrid, it's really interesting. I started it as a knitted project, and then I switched to crochet, and I was using favorite things that I've learnt, like the bind off I-cord. So I'm working it from the bottom up, and it's a hat. It will be a hat. And I'm probably a third of the way through, and I'm showing you the lovely seam work there. So yeah, this is how it's working up. It's got a ribbing on it, a 3x2 ribbing, and then single crochet work with every so often where this purple row is, I am pushing it out with the row before, or row on top, with a single, I think it's a front post or a back post, but it pushes out the purple row. I really like that, so I'll showcase it. It hasn't been finished yet. It's going to be like a beanie. So I have to show you my wicked hairstyle now. So here we go. I don't want to show you the seam in the front, so I'll put that in the back. And it's a really lovely fabric. It's elastic. I like the I-cord bind off, and I'm looking at you now through these lovely strands. There we go. So yeah, I like the fit. It feels super comfortable, and the look of it is, gotta get my hat back on. The look of it is like a watercolor painting in the background, and this purple color here is like more of a, I guess, a variegated, almost like a tonal jeans wash effect. And I like that. I'll show you what I'm using with the yarn. It is a DK worsted, so it's a 3-weight. And as you can see with the technique of the dye, it's not a full saturation. It has bits of the base yarn coming through, so I really like that. It gives it a nice tonal effect. It was purchased from Ancient Arts Yarn, and the colorway is Beaujolais Nouveau, and yeah, it's quite a lovely bouncy yarn. So if I was to tug on it, there's a lot of give. So there must be polyester in it, or a fiber that's man-made. It says 100% superwash, so that's great. The other yarn that I'm using is a hand-dyed yarn that I cooked up in the kitchen, and it's from KnitPicks, and it's their Stroll Sport. So it's a little bit thinner than the 3-weight, but I love the colors together. They just look awesome. So I thought, you know what, I need to choose a pattern that I'm gonna work up that continually alternates the two, so that there's no obvious, I guess, shrinkage or expanding of the two yarns. Because I find if you do like more than, let's say, more than ½ an inch of using the 1-weight fabric or 1-weight yarn, and then you switch it up to a different weight yarn, and you're going beyond, say, ½ an inch or an inch, you actually see a little bit of rippling through your fabric. But if you alternate them kind of like in a way where that's not an issue, like closer together, then the eye doesn't pick that that kind of warping of the fabric up. It becomes more of a repetition that's tighter and closer together. And yeah, for this one, it actually created more of a corduroy effect, which I really like. So the thinner yarn is the wash colored, and then the thicker yarn here are these pushed out rows of darker purple. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that, and I like the idea of the hybrid. It has knit and it has crochet. So there's no pattern to that. It's just like a mad idea that I've been putting together. Now, the next work in progress that I started was for a special thing that I'm joining. It's a make along KAL, so it's a knit along, and it's been designed and hosted by the Needles at the Ready. So Kevin and Ray, hi, how you doing? And I will link to either probably their Ravelry page where this make along is, and it is a knit make along, and it gives a description on exactly the idea behind the knit along. So just briefly, I'll touch on some of the key themes. It's called Let's Hear It for the Boys, and there are three main categories that are, I guess, you could either or do tick these categories off and join the make along, knit along. And one is that the garment is for a male to wear, or I guess add to the wardrobe. And another one is that a male designer has created the pattern. So if you're using a male pattern, or the designer is a male. And the third one is, what is the third one? Oh, if it's yarn that maybe comes from an indie designer, yarn designer that has dyed the yarn and happens to be a male. So it's Let's Hear It for the Boys. I like the concept, and I chose to make a Stephen West pattern, and it's for a garment for a male. For myself, I'm gonna be wearing this. I'm just hoping that my choices in yarn work out. But oh, you know what? Before I show, I'm going to pull up, because it's a paid for pattern and it's called the Drangi Pullover. I'm going to showcase it on lines so that we can talk about the aspects of the design that you can visually see if you were to pull this up anyway. So here is the sweater. It's a raglan. So you got the raglan styled increasing because it's working from top to bottom. And it uses ridging. So ridging for the yoke in this colorway that alternates between the main body and color B, or the contrast color. And it has a really nice finish for the banding down on the bottom. So I haven't chosen earthy colors. I've chosen kind of, well, I guess, I don't know, a bright turquoise. And my ridging is done in Noro yarn, which is this green and speckly green kind of roving style. And this is where I've got so far with it. So it probably doesn't look like it should on these needles bunched up, but this is a little bit of a representation. So this is the turquoise. I'm using ice yarn in this roving, I think it's called Aran cord. It's a 4-weight, and I don't know whether it has a name. I don't think it's called Wool Cord Aran. And sorry, I can't see what the name is on that one. And the main color is the Noro yarn here. I'm finally using my Noro yarn, and it's going to be my rustic sweater. It's the Drangi Pullover, and this one is Kotori, and the color is number 7, and I believe the colorway name is called the Labyrinth. So super happy about that. So that's my last and final whip that I've got to catch you up on for this week. So lots going on, and I don't know how long that sweater's going to take me and all the rest of the stuff, but hopefully in the next podcast I can showcase some of the items as finished works. Now, the KnitCrate. So my KnitCrate arrived. This is the month of the month of May, and I received it the 4th, I think, of June, somewhere around there. So a full month had transpired before I even got the month that it was meant to be showcased in. So everyone's probably seen this. I've seen many YouTubers opening it. So it's the blank canvas, May 2020. And I got in my yarn was I believe it's a sock fingering weight yarn, 100% superwash merino. And this yarn comes from Dye Supply. And so I got 100 grams in each hank. And the whole concept behind the blank canvas is that it's using Kool-Aid to dye the yarn yourself in your own, I guess, kitchen. And it's with collaboration with the very famous and lovely Rebecca from KnitCrate. So I watch Rebecca, and I love her channel so much. She's a wealth of information on if you ever want to begin hand dyeing on your own in your own kitchen. She talks about all the equipment that you need. But this particular KnitCrate pack came with Kool-Aid, which is, that one's upside down, came with its own Kool-Aid. So I got the cherry and the orange flavor, and this is used to dye the yarn. And I also got 2 zip ties to keep the yarn together, and a lovely little notebook. Actually, they're stick-it notes, and that's the way. So really interesting gift there. And how do I feel about it? Okay, well, to be honest, if I didn't love dyeing my own yarn, it would be a little bit of a disappointment. But for me, I really wanted to join KnitCrate because of this particular issue of the experiment of dyeing yarn and having the support of Rebecca to lead you through all of the process. So it's a very, very interesting take on the KnitCrate, I guess, options that they give you. They're surprising you with hanks that have virtually should be hand dyed by someone else already. Different indie dyers out there, collaboratives. So it's always coming from a very spontaneous or surprising approach for their customers. But what I did find that was a little bit disconcerting with this particular pack was we all pay the same membership for KnitCrate. I believe it's $24.99 a month. And when the pack came, the value that they listed as what the content was $10 US. So that was half the value of, I guess, what everyone had paid into. Now, I'm not too sure whether that's an ongoing thing, that the value of the contents is always $10 and then they use the $14.99 for shipping. But it does seem to me to be a little bit of a super lot of money for just shipping. So I think if you didn't have the desire to use, I guess, this month's, like dyeing up your own yarn, it was not a very good value. And For me, it works out fine because I did make use of the discount that they give the members if you were to go back and buy similar yarn to this from Dye Supplier, and I believe I got like 40% off my yarn purchase order that I made with them. So it's still coming, and for me it was like a great deal because I made use of that discount for the yarn. But for other people, I'm not too sure. I can understand that it was quite a disappointment with what you got for the value of your $24.99. So now moving on to the swap that I did because of my April KnitCrate, the glamorous yarn was called Luminous. I wasn't kind of like gravitating towards the little glittery stuff that went through that yarn, so I did a yarn swap and it arrived. So here it is, and my yarn swap person was Rose from Rose Likes Crochet. Hi Rose, how you doing? So okay, we went back and forth talking about like what we wanted to kind of like share or swap, or you know, I guess it was like a little bit interesting because the shops are closed, so there was really just Rose had her stash in front of her to choose yarn from. Now, if you're from Canada, all Canadians will understand this. We do not have Hobby Lobby. So I was like, Rose, do you have any Hobby Lobby in your stash? Because that's what I want. I want Hobby Lobby. So I'm happy to say I've opened this box and there's Hobby Lobby in there. Yay! So it says here, today will be great. Well, yes, it is awesome. Thank you, Rose. So Gary, I'm so excited to swap with you. Thank you for offering up the beautiful purple yarn. I went through my Hobby Lobby stash. The stores are closed, and sent what I hope you will enjoy. The candies are some of my favorites. Rose. Well, we also talked about swapping some candy, and I had so many high hopes to get to Purdy's, to get to Rocky Mountain, which are chocolate stores here in Vancouver, but they were also all closed. So I had to go to our international candy store, and I bought everything that I recalled as my favorites from the UK. I'm not from the UK originally, but there are candies that I've tried from the UK. So she's getting a whole slew of things from the UK. Oh, this is sweet. Oh my God. Okay, so my treats were Girl Scouts cookies, and I believe her note said that Carrots, which is her daughter's nickname, is in the Girl Scouts. So love those. I've never had these before, so when I looked into this box and saw this, I'm like, oh, she's sending me DVDs of children camping. But no, it was Girl Scout cookies. I got 100 grand. I don't know what this is. It looks like some caramel chocolatey delight treat. And you know what? Caramel, chocolate, peanuts together, the perfect mix. I got Hershey Kisses. I got, oh my God, this is awesome. Lifesavers hard candy. Well, I've had these before, but not this particular flavor, I don't think. I got 60s Sixlets. Chocolate candies. Ooh, these look interesting. I've never had them before. And York, it looks like an after dinner mint, so chocolate and mint. They look amazing. So hubby and I was like, should we eat the candy now before we actually like do this video? And I said, no, we can't. We have to wait. So now, after this, we're gonna hoe into all this chocolate. So thank you, Rose. Got a project bag called Make It Happen. And now the yarn. Hobby Lobby! Oh my God, Hobby Lobby, awesome. So, here we go. I got 2 skeins of the Denim in Color by Yarn Bee at Hobby Lobby. So that's them. Oh, it's so soft, Rose. That's excellent. And the colorway is green, and it's a mixture of cotton acrylic. And it comes in this kind of like mild style, and I love that. I love that. That's gonna make a beautiful, I would say, like combined with other yarns, it's a great neutral. So it'll go with everything. And I got it in this colorway as well. Holy smokes! Oh my God! I hope that you enjoy what I sent you, because this is just overkill. I love it. 4 skeins of Denim in Color again in a different colorway. It's olive. Amazing. Also, I got another 4 skeins of this I Love This Cotton, which I've never used before, ever. Wow, this is amazing. So I believe that I Love This Cotton must be all cotton. It smells really good too. Colorway is 98 Bright Teal. Awesome, look at that. That is awesome. Look, like this is teetering on almost collapsing onto the floor. I also got this Yarn Bee, it must be eyelash, right? What does it say? Haute Fur Wild Zebra. That's fun. Brim of a hat, maybe, or I don't know. That's kind of like a little, maybe nighttime wear, I think. I don't know what I'm going to be doing with that, but it's going to be lovely to fit somehow in. I'd love to see how it works up in a crochet. Yeah, thank you. That's really, really special. Oh, I had another one. Yeah, okay, so there's another green one that somehow I left behind. And, oh my God, you gave me a cake? Wow, Rainbow Rhapsody by Yarn Bee in the colorway Sapphire Blues. Check that out. Oh my God. That is awesome. I see a dragon belly shawl. Oh, I've also found a new pattern from that same designer. It's a free pattern as well, the XY. So maybe that one might work. Oh, I don't know. There's just so many options. This one here is 2 skeins of I Love This Yarn. I believe this is a 100% acrylic, and the colorway is turquoise, green, red, or if you need the number, is 424. Oh my God, look. That is awesome. I love these colors. Okay, that blanket that I was gonna do from the Secret Yarnery, I had picked up some, I guess it's smart yarn or something, and it uses colorways that are similar to this, but I didn't pick up enough, and I went back to get some, and they'd all been sold out of my Michaels, so I can add this to that blanket that I'm doing. So thank you so much for that. That was awesome. Oh my God, look at this box. When this came, holy smokes, I was like, what is she sending me? It's like, do you have anything left in your stash? Or is it here on my coffee table? Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Rose. That was amazing. So now I want to just talk about some of the things that I've been looking at throughout the course of this week. And it's some yarn based, but also some suggestions on inspiration and hope. So I'm going to turn my notes over, so sorry about that. So what I found is of the week is a Leading Men Fibre Arts, which is a yarn dyeing, I guess, business. And I went through their website and I fell in love with all of their colorways. So I might be inspired to go back and take another look and make some purchases, or maybe duplicate or get inspired to get in the kitchen and attempt to dye up similar kind of colorways. So loved that find of the week. That was excellent. And I was fortunate enough to be invited by really close friends. So me and hubby went to see a musical called Dear Evan Hansen. And it had a brilliant message within young adults or young teenagers going through life and finding difficulties in interacting with other people within their circles of life. So it had the role models of like the popular girl or the the bully or the the book smarts, and there was a quite tense subject matter, I guess, in the musical, and I wanted to just kind of share with you one of the reactions from that particular musical that led to this really powerful movement of people singing the song in their home and using social media to join in and have one voice. So yeah, it did tear me up, and even when I was watching the performance, but also every time I watch this clip, it reminds me of how powerful people can be together. So it's also very poignant for the fact that where we are right now with people, the fight against bullying, or standing up for what we believe is to be true. So it will recharge you if you watch this. I believe it will, or it will give you an inner strength. The other thing that I want to share with you is a Youth Laureate, which is a poetry prize that is given to people. I believe it's just the United States. If it's not, then please correct me. But there is this beautiful poet. Her name is Amanda Gorman, and she has so many beautiful poems out there. And I wanted to just share one that I had saw on YouTube, her performance or her deliverance of the piece. And it talks about the pandemic that we're living in right now. So she is definitely a ray of hope and inspiration. And so please enjoy those links. I will link them down below. And yeah, so I think that catches me up with everything that I need to share with you. It's already been 36 minutes. Oh my goodness. I'm going to try and cut and paste a few things out so that I can get you to this point where you have the option of enjoying those powerful messages that I found on YouTube. Stay safe, have a great week, and I'll catch up with you next time. I want to just thank all of the subscribers for returning and watching the video. Please give me a thumbs up if you like, and if you're new and you found this content of some use or enjoyment, or if you want to join my Fibre community that I have right now, please hit that subscribe button, and I'd like to see you again. Bye for now.